What if I told you that economists have been using a hamburger for nearly 40 years to understand the global economy? It sounds absurd. Yet since 1986, the Big Mac Index has become one of the most famous economic indicators ever created. Developed by The Economist magazine, the idea was surprisingly simple. If a Big Mac is roughly the same everywhere in the world, then its price can tell us something about the true value of a country's currency. A Big Mac includes the bun, meat, vegetables, labor, transportation, rent, electricity, and taxes. In other words, it represents an entire economy on a small scale. Economists refer to this concept as Purchasing Power Parity, PPP. According to the theory, over time, the same products should cost roughly the same when converted to a common currency. If that's not the case, a currency may be overvalued or undervalued.
Imagine that a Big Mac costs $8 in Switzerland, $6 in the United States, and $4 in another country. If the product is essentially the same, why are the prices different? The answer lies in wages, productivity, exchange rates, inflation, taxation, and the cost of doing business. This is why economists pay attention to the Big Mac Index. It transforms a complex economic concept into something anyone can understand. A hamburger becomes a measuring tool.
Over the years, the Big Mac Index has revealed fascinating patterns. Switzerland has frequently ranked among the most expensive countries in the world. Meanwhile, developing economies often offer significantly lower prices. But lower prices do not necessarily mean a country is poor. Instead, they often reflect differences in purchasing power.
For example, a worker earning a local salary may still be able to afford the same number of hamburgers as someone living thousands of miles away. This is where the Big Mac Index becomes particularly interesting. It doesn't simply compare prices, it compares economic realities. Inflation also plays a major role.
If the price of a Big Mac rises rapidly over a short period of time, it can indicate increasing costs throughout the economy. Higher wages, more expensive transportation, rising energy prices, and supply chain disruptions all eventually find their way into the price of a single hamburger. In that sense, a Big Mac can become a small inflation detector. Of course, economists do not use the Big Mac Index as a perfect scientific instrument. It was never designed to replace official economic data. Instead, it serves as a remarkably effective way to visualize economic differences between nations. And perhaps that is why it has endured for nearly 4 decades. Because behind every Big Mac lies an entire economic system. Behind every price lies a story. A story about workers, businesses, governments, and millions of people making decisions every single day. From now on, whenever you see a hamburger on the menu, remember this. You're not just looking at a meal. You're looking at prices. You're looking at inflation. You're looking at trade, productivity, and purchasing power. You're looking at the global economy itself. And perhaps the world's most famous economics lesson was never hidden inside a textbook. Perhaps it has been hidden inside a hamburger all along. Let's take a closer look at the hamburger in front of us and try to understand it better. Don't forget to subscribe and show your support until the next video. Goodbye.